Alrighty, guys, this is the final part. I'm gonna upload this video, take my shower. I'm going to walk to the store, trip my ass off, and I'll get my beer and my smokes, and I'll come back home and enjoy the show with you guys. Obviously. And then afterwards, I'll probably binge Rad's Part 1, Part 2, Last of Us game. And then tonight, I will binge his Left Behind DLC walkthrough. Yeah. Yeah. And Peter Jackson told me, Ivan, do you want Airtech to be a full-on CGI wolf? I'm like, no, Peter. I don't want Airtech to be a full-on CGI wolf. Ivan, like, why are you so against full CGI? No, Peter, I'm not against full CGI. I love CGI. I'm going to be pouring $400 towards CGI towards my movie, obviously. You need a lot of CGI and fantasy to make your world look more amazing, but you need to mix it with your practical effects, the way your world looks more natural. So, Ivan, you're thinking of something like Pandora for your world building, except it looks more natural. Yes, a world like Pandora, except it looks more natural. It looks amazing, but it looks also natural. You get the natural look. That's why you got to build big sets, obviously. I don't want Airtech to be a full-on CGI wolf. Yeah, but Ivan, like Peter Jackson will be like, Ivan, like, why are you against full-on CGI Airtech? You know what I'm saying? Hollywood, everyone uses CGI for villains, Ivan. They use full CGI for villains. I'm like, yeah, Peter, and look how Thanos turned out. Look how Azog turned out. They looked amazing, but they looked a little cheesy because they're full-on CGI characters. I'm not a fan of full-on CGI Airtech, Peter. And the bad thing about full-on CGI is the characters are acting in a blue screen. They have to imagine what they see. Hence why it has problems, obviously. Whereas if the actor acts in a mask, obviously he'll be like the actors who are going to act for Airtat and all of them are actually going to be acting in on set in Barack and all, so they can see their surroundings. Hence, you're going to get better acting from them. And then Pujowski, Ivan, what are you thinking of? If you don't want Airtel to be a full CGI wolf, what are you thinking of for the kind of costumes, for the style of the costumes and masks that they're gonna wear? What are you thinking of, Ivan? I show Peter Jackson the picture. I'm like, I'm thinking something like this picture here, the devil being an animal. He's like, holy shit, Ivan! I can picture Airtel them wearing a mask and costume like this, and you apply the special effects towards these costumes and masks, Ivan. Oh, I'm like, yeah, Ivan. Now, whether they look more natural, like my ring race in Lord of the Rings and my orcs in Lord of the Rings, but they look also very amazing because you poured on her technology towards special effects. Yes. So, Ivan, you want the 50-50 balance? Yes, Peter. I want the balance of CGI technology and practical effects. The way Aratat looks natural, but he also looks very amazing and scary. He doesn't look too computer and cheesy like your Azog orcs in the Hobbit, obviously. Because even though Azog and all of them looked amazing, they looked a little cheesy because it was full CGI, man. That's why I'm not a fan of full CGI, Peter. Please, Peter, stay away from full CGI Airtel. I don't want Airtel to be a full CGI wolf. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Airtel to be a full CGI wolf, because I know Peter is into CGI. The only reason why he didn't do full CGI for Lord of the Rings is because back then there wasn't really much CGI wasn't that big back then in the early 2000s. But in 2010, CGI became very popular in Hollywood, and Peter Jackson used full CGI for The Hobbit. You know what I'm saying? The Hobbit world building looked amazing, obviously, but there were it looked very cheesy in some scenes because it was all full on CGI. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of that computer look like The Hobbit. No, stay away from that. Yeah, Ivan, what do you want okay? I want the world to be something like the Lord of the Rings movie, Peter. You have the balance of CGI and practical effects. Okay, Ivan, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so you want the balance. Yes, I don't want I don't want my world to look too natural. Otherwise, the movie won't be as good. For fantasy, you have to have your world look amazing. But I also don't want it looking too computery. I want the balance. Tell the special effects people that way, guys, I want the balance of CGI special effects and the practical effects. Okay, Ivan, what you're saying. I don't want the world looking too computery, and I don't want the world looking too natural. If you have too much of one side, the movie won't be as good. The world looking too natural, the movie won't be as good. The world looking too computer won't be as good either. Have the balance of both. I'm saying. That's why you got to pour a lot of money towards set building. That way you build big sets. And if you build, the bigger the sets you build, the better your world will look. Obviously, your world will look more natural, but it'll also look amazing because you're applying the $400+ million towards special effects, towards those sets. You know what I'm saying? Lord of the Rings, they built cheap sets. I remember for Fangoon Forest, I saw it behind the scenes. They only had like 6 trees in the blue screen, and you saw the movie. Fangoon Forest looked pretty good. Obviously, You got a forest like that. Imagine building a 0.7, 0.8 acre forest with a forest of Galathea, and you apply the CGI technology towards that forest. You're looking at something amazing, man. You're looking at an amazing world, yeah, man. Amazing world building, yeah, man. Something amazing. You're looking at something amazing, yeah, man. And that's why Peter will have that smile on his face. You're gonna see how happy he is. You know what I'm saying? Because I gave him like an unlimited budget, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I gave him an unlimited budget. Yeah, he'll work harder for me, obviously. He'll be like, oh, he might tell me, oh, Ivan, fuck Hollywood, man. I'm gonna work harder for you. You paid me way more money. You gave my freedom. Your company's so much better than Hollywood. Yeah, my Gran Turismo property. You know what I'm saying? Peter pirated up my $300 million condo. He pirated up my yacht. He's working in my Gran Turismo property, my nice special effects unit building that I built. Yeah. I'll even give Peter a tour of my game studio. Peter's like, Ivan, you're making a Xanth game? Yeah, Peter, I'm going to make a Xanth game. Can I get a piece of it, Ivan? I'm like, no, Peter. I'll only give you a piece of the game, Peter, if you're willing to, if you're willing to co-write the script for the Xanth game. You know what I'm saying? I can pay you for it if you want. Pay you a good $10 million to write the script for the Xanth game. I can give you a nice 0.05% of the profits. You'll make a nice, I don't know, $8 million in royalties. It's a good paycheck for Peter. You can do it like that for him. Peter would gladly write the script, but chances are he won't do it because Peter. I can't have you write the script for my Xanth game. I need you to focus on my movie. I hired my own team for that. You're not getting squat off the games. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give him a tour of the studio. Yeah, Peter. Here's my game division. Ivan, you're making a Xanth game too. Yeah, Peter, I'm making a Xanth game too. He's like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm gonna have to do is once me and Peter Jackson finish writing that script, I'm gonna have to give the storyboard team for the game, obviously, a copy of the script. That way they know my story inside and out. And all the console arts that I have, that we drew, obviously, you have to give them all that information. That way the art director and all them know what your world looks like, everything. So I'm saying that way it's consistent with your story. Hey guys, once we finish doing the console arts, give all the people for the game, all the script, the notes, and all the console arts. That way they know what the world looks like and all that stuff, what Aratat and all them look like. So I'm saying. Yeah. So let's talk about duties. So every day from 9 to 12, I'll work on the script with Peter Jackson and my two script developers. So Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, or the Russo brothers, Ryan Coogler, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, whoever I hire, Zack Snyder, James Gunn, whoever I hire, they're going to be working with me working with me and Peter Jackson on that script, obviously. From 9 to 12, and you give them 2 50-minute breaks. It's a good deal. And at 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime. I'll be going out to lunch with my 17. We can go to a sometimes I'll just order pizza for everyone. Okay, guys, today I'm going to order pizza for us. You don't have to go out. It's on me. I'll pay for that out of my own pocket. I'll order pizza for you guys. Order a nice 3-4 boxes of nice Domino's pizza, Pizza Hut. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy's Pizza, a nice pizza. You know what I'm saying? Order some nice pizza, obviously. And then, or I can get Popeye's Louisiana chicken. Popeye's has good food. I can order a bunch of platters of Popeye's Louisiana chicken for everyone. Order some Popeye's Louisiana chicken. Get some chicken, some fries, some potato salad, all that stuff for some Coke. Order some food. I'll do that sometimes, obviously, but like most of the time, I'll be going out with the 17 because I paid the 17 their $1 million, $2 million salary. Easy for it to go out with me every day. They're making a lot of money. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, or the Russo brother, Joe Russo and Anthony Russo. I paid them the rich bonus. They can easily afford to go out to lunch with me every day if they want. So I'm saying. I mean, guys, you can bring your own lunch from home if you want, or you can go out to lunch with me every day. Chances are they're gonna go out to lunch with me every day because what? I paid them their fucking millions. I paid them a lot of money, man. They got their fat rich bonus, and I'm paying them the rich yearly salary. Easy for it to go out with me every day. Whereas Peter Jackson, Fran, Barry Osborne, George Lucas, and like my 3 console artists, obviously, and Guillermo del Toro, a limo driver will pick them up at my property and take them to the buffet restaurant. And they get their 1 hour. They get 1 hour off to eat, and they get their VIP. So, but what I'll do is Peter Jackson and them do not. I'll tell Peter them guys, the 1 hour countdown does not starts once you arrive to the restaurant. So if it takes 10 minutes, if it takes 8 minutes for you to get to to drive to the restaurant, that does not count towards the 1 hour. You give them a good deal like that. So once you guys arrive to the restaurant, your 1 hour, you get your 1 hour countdown. Your 1 hour countdown starts to click, obviously. I'll give you guys 1 hour to eat, which is more than enough time. Give them VIP that way they don't have to wait in line. When they arrive to the restaurant, they have this pass. Okay, Peter, come over here. You have seats reserved for you, and they sit down. You give them all you can drink, soft drinks, obviously, and then they get to eat their nice buffet. And once the 1 hour is up, a limo driver will take them to back to my property. And then my 7 team and all of them, and Barry Osborne and Fran will be doing the business calls. Obviously, you could have Fran and Barry Osborne in a meeting with you sometimes for the console arts. Sometimes, well, I want them focused on helping out the 7 team with business calls. You can have Fran help up here with his notes if you want to, obviously. She co-wrote Lord of the Rings. You can have her help up Peter Jackson if you want. Peter, you're more than happy to have your wife help with the notes if you want. But Guillermo del Toro is more than enough to help out Peter. He doesn't need any more help. Guillermo del Toro is more than enough to help out Peter with his notes, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So from 1 to 5, we're gonna do board meetings discussing the movie, the console arts, the pictures that we like for the characters and world building, as well as discuss the movie for we're gonna discuss the movie for what? For 4 hours. From 1 to 5. So for 3.5 hours, we'll discuss the movie. And you give Peter Jackson all them 2 50-minute breaks. And my 2 source developers are only going to be with me for the console arts twice a week. And the remaining 3 days, they're going to be doing the business calls in the afternoon. I don't pay for nothing. And when I write my script, I'm going to write it. I'm going to do what George Lucas did. I'm going to write it. I'm going to have this notebook. I'm going to have a pencil. I'm going to write my script on pencil, on a piece of paper. Write it on pencil. That way, if you make an error, you can just erase it. It's easier. Write on pencil. George Lucas wrote his script on paper first before he printed it out. Yeah. So what I'll do is, Peter will be in my boardroom or the console room, right? Be in my boardroom writing the script. He'll be next to me. My 2 students are next to me. Write the script, obviously. And then in the afternoon, I'll hire that fast typewriter, have him type up my script in the afternoon. While I'm doing the console arts, he's in my office typing out what we wrote down that day. And that way, by the end of the day, my 2 sort of us can print out a copy of the script and Peter Jackson can take his notes. And I'll buy a notebook for Peter Jackson, or he can buy his own notebook. Like, Peter, do you mind buying your own notebook, or do you want me to buy it for you? I'll buy my own. I pay your Talmud bones. You can easily buy your own notebook. Well, I'll buy it for him. I'll buy a nice notebook for Peter Jackson. Buy a good, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 notebooks for Peter. And that's what he'll be using to take his notes. I'm gonna tell Peter, make sure you mark each scene, man. That way, whenever you want to go back and look over your scenes, you're organized. This is scene 1. This is scene 2. You mark the scenes. That way you're organized. See what I'm saying? That way you're organized. Oh, I mean, you should say, yeah. And at 5 o'clock, everyone is done work. But there's sometimes when I might stay over hours. I might stay in that room maybe till even 10 o'clock, discussing the movie with Peter Jackson on them. Because what? Movies are blood, sweat, and tears. And then 5 o'clock, everyone's off. The 7 team can go home and spend time with their family, obviously. And then Peter Jackson and all of them can go. Limo driver will take them back to their nice suites in their hotel. And all I ask Peter is that when you get home, dedicate a good hour and a half of your time to take your notes with Guillermo del Toro. Just dedicate a good hour and a half. Take your notes for the 2-3 pages of your wrote down that day with Guillermo del Toro. And once you're done taking your notes, you're off for the rest of the day. You can go downstairs, have a beer. You can see a movie on theaters at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock if you want, which you most likely will. You can go to the bar, you can go swimming. You can go to the gym. You can watch TV in your hotel room. You can chill in your jacuzzi in your suite in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? You can go to a nice bar, and you know what I'm saying? At nighttime, a limo driver will take him for his feeding for his dinner too. Obviously. So I'll do a thing where around 7 o'clock, a limo driver will take Peter for dinner around there. So limo driver takes Peter for breakfast early in the morning, around 7 around there for breakfast. Obviously. For breakfast, obviously 7:30 around there, and then at lunchtime it takes him for lunch, and then dinner. What I'll do is I'm gonna the buffet restaurant. I'm gonna see if they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'll have Peter go to that same restaurant every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, obviously. It's a nice buffet restaurant in Vancouver. That way, him and Wimbledon are well taken care of. Have him go around 7:30 in the morning for breakfast, 12, obviously, and then around like 6, 7 o'clock. Or you can do a thing after Peter and them after we do the concert arts meetings. Obviously, the limo driver takes Peter to lunch. I think it's best Peter takes his notes first, then the limo driver takes him to the buffet restaurant. Because there's nothing worse than coming home and you're full as fuck and you have to work on your script and you're tired. No, don't do that. Have Peter eat his food after he takes his notes. It'll take Peter a good like 50, an hour and a half to take his notes. So if Peter comes back home around 5 in this hotel room with Grandma Tour and all them, you know what I'm saying? He'll take him a good hour to go to take the notes for the 2 or 3 pages. A good hour and a half will take Peter to take the notes. I'm gonna tell Peter, don't rush it, man. Like seriously, think about what ideas you have for the scenes, man. This is a movie. You need to be just he'll work hard because I pay him a lot of money. He got his 10 mil signing bonus. He'll work hard. He'll work hard. He'll work really hard. I'm saying he'll work really hard, Peter. And that's pretty much so. At 5 o'clock, once Peter Jackson goes home, there's a nice hotel suite office with Grandma Tour on him. He'll take his notes for a good hour and a half. And once he takes his notes, he is off for the rest of the day. He can do whatever he wants. And I'll give Peter and all them weekends off. My 17, me and my wife, Peter Jackson, Grandma Tour, George Lucas, and all them, we all get weekends off. That way Peter's not stressed out. I told you, even though we get weekends off, even though you get your weekends off, it doesn't hurt to constantly go over the script and go over your notes during the weekends. That way you're prepped. I'm going to do the same thing too. During the weekends, I'm going to go over what I wrote down in the script, and I'm going to go over my on Peter Jackson's notes. Sincere? That way I know me and him have the same vision. I'm also going to do a thing where I'm going to invite Peter and all them to my condo or my yacht. I'm going to watch some movies. That way you give Peter some good ideas. Okay, Peter, I'm thinking something like Young Messiah for Young Tactius. And you watch the movie with Peter. That way you give him good ideas. Okay, Ivan, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, let's watch Prince of Egypt. We can get some good ideas off of the Exodus of Sapphies. When all of Sapphies exit Sapphies and they march, they journey through the cursed Western Ghats Mountains. You know what I'm saying? Look at an amazing movie. Yeah, they have torches and the mosquitoes bite them. And they're all heading towards Ephesus territory, the king of that region. You look at an amazing story, yeah. Something like Prince of Egypt, yeah. Passion of Christ, the way Jim Caviezel acted as Jesus. Think something like that for Mature Tactius in Volume 3. When I grow my beard, I'm more mature. Yeah, I know my destiny, yes. Whereas before that, I'm cocky and confident. I look down on Selvins. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, for Papyri, I'm thinking something like Jesus' disciple. You know, remember John in Passion of Christ? The guy who saw Jesus dying on the cross? Yeah, you something like that for Papyri, Yvonne Joja, yeah. You give Peter some good ideas for the story, obviously. And if you watch those movies with Peter, he will have a lot of good ideas for the story. We can watch that clip in King Kong. We don't have to watch the whole King Kong movie. We can watch that clip in King Kong where it shows those mutated insects. Yeah, think something like that for what? Think something like that for what? For the mosquitoes. The big mosquitoes, yeah, and the snakes, the mutated snakes, and the jaguars. You know, so that way you give Peter ideas, yeah. That way Peter knows. That way, by the time production's about to start, Peter Jackson's fully prepped. He took his notes. He studied his notes with Grandma Tour. He's prepped. I'm also going to have Jon Favreau and Filoni help him out a little bit with directing. That way, Peter's prepped to be like, yeah, Ivan, don't worry about it. Ivan, you have to trust me. He's going to tell me, Ivan, you have to trust me. I know what I'm doing. I did Lord of the Rings. I did The Hobbit. I know what I'm doing, Ivan. You have to trust me, Ivan. And the Hobbit trilogy was a pretty good trilogy, and Peter Jackson winged it. So if Peter Jackson can do what he did for The Hobbit by winging it, imagine what he would do for Xanus if he's fully prepped. He's going to destroy the role as a director, man. Yeah, man. He's going to destroy you. Look at it, you're like, holy shit, Peter's working hard. He's working. He'll be like, Ivan, fuck Hollywood. I'm going to work harder for you. You know, I'm going to work harder for you, man. Like, you gave me my freedom. You pay me way more money than what Warren Will's paying me. Hollywood's dirty as fuck, Ivan. Hollywood's fucking cheap. They gave me a $90 million budget. You know what I'm saying? I was a dirty fucking slave. They served me shitty fucking food. Yeah, man. They served me Peter, like, them shitty food, like, but they cooked food in some trailer. They served us shitty, like, potatoes, pasta, and salad also, and beef, and orange juice, and you serve me a luxurious buffet. Yeah, he'll work harder for me, obviously. The crewman, people are like, yeah, Ivan, I don't have to worry about my Lord of the Rings crewman quitting on me for your movie, Ivan. I don't have to worry about Lord of the Rings crewman quitting on me for my Xenos movie, Ivan. You know what I'm saying? Because you paid them all the 150K. Yeah, the 150K is worth the labor. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, I heard some crewmen quit because it wasn't worth the money, obviously. 30K is not worth that dirty work, man. Whereas 150K is worth the dirty work because you're going to walk away with like a 180 grand, 90 grand paycheck in your bank. Do a lot of things that way. I can last you for a year and a half. You can buy a house, buy a nice used car, go on a vacation with family, feed your family for years, buy a nice TV. Yeah, buy it. You know what I'm saying? You can do some good stuff with that money. As the crewmen of Lord of the Rings are going to work hard for me. Harder than what they even did for Lord of the Rings. The actors are going to work harder for me because I paid them their millions. I gave them pieces of royalties. Peter Jackson worked harder for me because he signed like his $450 million deal, $500 million deal. He'll work hard for me, Peter. So I'm saying he'll work harder because he signed a massive like $450 million deal. Peter, he'll work harder for me. So I'm saying paid him his $100 million base salary, which is a lot of money. He doesn't make that in Hollywood. He'll work hard. He'll work really hard, Peter. So I'm saying he'll work hard, obviously. Because guarantee Peter might tell me, oh, Ivan, fuck Hollywood. Hollywood's dirty as fuck, man. I'm going to work harder for you, man. You gave me my freedom. You gave me an unlimited budget. You're serving me a luxury buffet. I'm going to work harder for you, Ivan. Fuck Hollywood. Yeah, you might tell me that. Guillermo del Toro might tell me, fuck Hollywood, Ivan. Your company's so much better than Hollywood. Yeah, my grass mills are property. Yeah, man. Guillermo del Toro, I'll pay him. Because he's big, I can pay him even $2 million salary. I can pay him a $2 million salary. I can give Guillermo del Toro a $2.65 million deal. So you pay him his $400,000 signing bonus, $2 million salary, and you pay him a $250K bonus, and you give him 0.01% of profits. He'll make a good like $5.5 million in royalties. Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro signed like his $7.5 million deal. It's a nice paycheck for an assistant director. Because he's big, pay him his millions, but don't let him dupe you. Because he's assistant director, he's not worth as much money. You're like, I have not a good deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm assistant director. I'm not even worth this. Yeah, your assistant directors only make like $250, $300K in Hollywood, man. Around there, right? And I'm paying you your millions. You'll be like, I have not a good deal. 0.001% is a nice like $5 million in royalties. Yeah, it's a nice paycheck with Del Toro. You're my assistant director. I'm not going to pay you more than the actors. Because you're big, I'll pay you millions, but I'm not going to pay you more than the Hollywood actors. You're assistant director. If you were my director, I'd pay you more money, Guillermo del Toro, but you're not. I'd pay you like your $15-20 million, but you're my assistant director, hence why I'm not paying you as much. So I'm saying, yeah. So all Peter Jackson will help me with is co-writing the script. He'll do the concept arts with me every afternoon, obviously. He'll consult with my 7 team sometimes. He has to take his notes, and he has to help me with the main 7-6 business calls. So the Virgin Dock Resort party and red carpet event will help me out with that in Switzerland. The IMS cameras and the equipment for the cameras, obviously. The CGI special effects technology software equipment, obviously, for the special effects for Weta Workshop. Weta Digital, obviously, he has to help me with that. $420 million towards special effects, something unheard of. He has to help me with the costumes, armor, and weapons, and the machine for the mask. Help me make those calls. So the sewing equipment for the custom made costumes, the stuff for the armor and the weapons for Weta Workshop, and the machinery for creating those professional masks like that will be an animal for all the animal characters. And it'll also help me with what? It'll also help me with the food, calling the farms for the food, the coffee, the milkshake, the soft drinks, all that stuff, obviously. Help me with that. And the kitchen equipment. And that's all. That's it. That's all Peter has to help me with. And it'll help me sign the contracts for the people I'm flying in. So Weta Workshop, I'll fly in the first year. The people overseeing the actors, I'll fly in the first year. And the costume designers, I'll fly those guys in the first year. Peter Jackson will help me sign those contracts. They're nice $150,000 contracts, obviously. And it'll also help me sign the actors the second year when I fly in my stars for the movie, obviously. Peter Jackson will help me sign the actors. And that's all he has to do, and he gets his 10 mil. He gets his 10 mil bonus for that, and he gets he also gets his commercial money, 30 grand in commercial money the first year. I'll have him do one commercial the first year and one commercial the second year with the actors. Pay Peter a nice $30K for the commercial. That's a good paycheck for him, and you give him his $3,500 gas card for his gas. He doesn't need it, but give him a nice perk like that. That way he works hard for you. And after film is completed, he gets his $2,000 gift card too, Peter. A nice $2,000 gift card. It's a nice paycheck for Peter, man. It's a nice paycheck for Peter Jackson. A nice $2,000 gift card. Yeah, man. Give Peter a nice paycheck like that. See what I'm saying? Yeah, hence why he'll work harder for me, because Hollywood does not give Hollywood, even though Hollywood paid Peter $250 million. Peter is making what? Peter is making almost double what he made for Lord of the Rings. He signed like his $500 million deal, man. As Peter's probably going to make a good $400 million in royalties. He signed like his $500 million deal, double what he made for Lord of the Rings. And for Lord of the Rings, he was a dirty slave. They didn't spoil him the way I spoiled him. They didn't give him a luxurious buffet like my company. They served him pretty good food, but not the kind of food I'm serving Peter, man. Like hamburger sliders, cheesecake, white cake, apple pie, blueberry pie, strawberry pie, poutine, crispy fries, barbecue wings and ribs, and like fried rice and teriyaki meats. And all you can drink vending machine for Coke, Mountain Dew, Orange Crush, Sprite, and like all you can drink milkshake. I'm not Warner Bros. Not spoiled Peter the way I spoiled him. See what I'm saying? That's why he'll work hard. He worked hard for Lord of the Rings, but because he was a dirty slave, he's not. He's gonna, because I gave him his freedom. He'll work even harder for me. As I told you, making a lot of money, making your free millions is the best feeling in the world. To be free and rich is the best feeling in the world. That's why Peter will work even harder for me, and I'm spoiling him, and I paid him more money than what Hollywood paid him. As I heard, Peter made only about $10 million for pre-production, production, and post-production for Lord of the Rings, and he worked hard, and I'm paying him $10 million for pre-production alone. I'm giving him all these perks, staying at a nice suite, working on my nice Grand Theft property, piloting up my $300 million condo, my nice like $60 million yacht, $55 million yacht, flying on my nice $130-40 million jet, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All those parties, the limo services, yeah, Peter will work hard for me, obviously. Hence why my last Rosales movie, The Best Story Told, yes, it'll even be better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings by a slim margin. It'll be very, very close, but I think Zane's will take it out by a slim margin. Slim, tiny margin. Anyways, if this video, I'm going to upload this video, take my shower, go get my beer and smokes, enjoy the show with you guys. I'm signing out. Peace.